Shalom, first and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word of love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this popped up on my TikTok feed because I believe the climactic end to this situation it's been resolved, and the charges against the police, I believe it was somewhere in Dayton, have finally been dropped. And it's in regards to a situation with this woman who made a very unwise decision regarding her safety and the danger of the situation that she was in, which culminated in her being put to death, her daughter being put to death, and then the man she was with eventually taking his own life. So we're going to let this play, and then we're going to get some scripture.
Closet and grabbed the gun. So, and I was like, you're not gonna do nothing. And he was like, matter of fact, get out. I said, you can't put me out. I can't run here. So he was like, you getting out of my house. Like, are you really trying to provoke me? And every single time he's stepping closer and closer to me. Are you really trying to provoke me? Are you trying to provoke me? I'll kill you. You'll really lose your life in here.
The question that everybody wants to know is why didn't this girl just take her 6-year-old and leave, give this man time to cool off? He asked her 9 times to get out of his house. Even the police tried to persuade her.
For me, if I was in a situation that wasn't for me, I would want to go.
She still refused to leave. An hour after the police left, he shot her dead, shot her 6-year-old dead, and then killed himself.
He went.
Now, you see, you have to ask yourself, how much is your pride worth? How much is it worth being right? And see, this is why the men of the Lord, this is why we always stress to everybody, you have to walk in wisdom wherever you go and in everything that you do, especially in the times that we are in now. And let me get that in Colossians. I mean, not Colossians. I think it is Colossians 4 and 5. It says, walk in wisdom toward them that are without, redeeming the time. Because you have to recognize, if you're not in this truth, anybody that's not in this truth, their decisions, their knowledge, their wisdom, their understanding is not grounded in this truth. Which means that they will make a lot of decisions that are not productive for their life, because they will be going on, as the scripture calls it, their own vain opinion. Ecclesiasticus 3, is it 23 or 24, something like that? It says, for many are deceived by their own vain opinion. Well, I think this is best for me. Well, I think I should do this. Like she said, well, she thought that she was right. She thought, hey, I paid the rent here. I'm not moving anywhere. I have no place to go. You can't kick me out this house. It says, and an evil suspicion have overthrown their judgment. What they think they can do has overthrown, has superseded a decision that could have saved their life. Now, the police were called. Does she technically have the right to stay there? Yes. Can she call the police, get a restraining order? Yes. These are all things that technically, yes, under the law, she has the right to do. But at the end of the day, this was not beneficial. As I mentioned, it was not beneficial to her, it was not beneficial to her daughter, and it was not beneficial to him. And see, this is something that I've noticed with women as a whole. There are many women who cannot perceive when they are in a dangerous situation. As a whole, I don't see it. And there's a good story about that I saw on it was on TikTok or YouTube. It was with Andrew Tate. And Andrew was talking about how he was with this woman at the time. I don't know if he was in Romania or another European country, but nonetheless, him and this woman, they decided, hey, let's go out to the club tonight. So they go out to this club and they're waiting in the line. As they're waiting in the line, these two big swole dudes cut like way in front of them, in front of another couple. So the woman that Andrew was with, she starts saying, how can they do this? Them two guys can't get it in front of this line. We've been waiting here. Andrew cut off like, shut the fuck up. But bitch, shut the fuck up. Do not say a word. And as Andrew finished saying this, the couple that was a little bit in front of them, the woman start talking, got in the guy's face. You can't do that. We've been waiting here in the middle of this line. Guy cocked back, punched her right in the face like she was a man. And before her man could even get in the situation, knowing that he was going to come to her aid, the other dude cocked back, popped him right in the face. Now you got a couple laid out on the ground, knocked out. The woman that Andrew was with saw that, and he said, see, this is why I told you, shut the fuck up. And he's making the point that, and the point he was trying to make is like, hey, I'm a man. I foresee these situations that are dangerous. And it's not worth my pride, and it's not worth me being right to say something. They cut in the line. Okay, no big deal. We're still going to get in the club. It's not the end of the world. And it's the same thing with this woman. She did not foresee the evil that she was in, as spoken of in, what's that, Proverbs 22:3, where it says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. Now, see, if this woman would have used wisdom, she would have realized, you know what? I know I love this man, but I got to leave. It's not worth my life. It's not worth my daughter. By law, I know I have the right to do these things, but is this really worth it? And the thing is, I saw a few videos because I wanted to make sure I watched a few of them to get a better perspective on what's going on. This chick already knew he had a history of violence and domestic abuse, particularly against his mother. And she still got with the dude. So already right there, that's not using wisdom. That's just setting yourself up for a dangerous situation. Now, we fast forward. As you saw in the video, the man told her, get out. The woman even said he went and got the gun. He told her to get out. He said, why you keep provoking me? And he kept getting closer and closer to her. I mean, all the signs are there for this woman to get out. But she didn't. Now, see, if she would have used wisdom, first of all, she would have never got with this guy. But even with, let's say, he hid his true self. Because, you know, a lot of people do that. they hide their true selves for quite some time. Let's say he did do this and she got with the guy thinking that this was him, but then she saw his true nature. Even with that, the mere fact that she was in this situation right now, regardless of how he acted before, wisdom should have told her, I'm packing my daughter up and we going. I don't know where we gonna live or how we gonna do it, but we're gonna do it. See, that was wisdom. But it says, but the simple pass on and are punished. And the punishment cost her life and her daughter's life. And he felt so bad, he knew he wasn't going to get out that jam. He eventually took himself out. This was a lose-lose situation all around. See, this is another story, just like the one that happened here in Chicago on 116th and Halsted. This is another situation where being prideful and trying to be right has gotten people destroyed. As the scripture says, it's in Proverbs. Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth before destruction. She was a very prideful woman. I'm not moving anywhere. I pay rent here. I do this. I do that. Wait a minute. You got a child. It's not about I. It ain't about you. It's about what's in the best interest for your daughter. And having your daughter around a man who has a history of being hostile, even to his own mother, it's time to go. And it says, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And you saw the video. That don't even need to be explained. Like I said, she's gone, daughter's gone, he's gone, and the family done took another L because now they lawsuit has been dropped. So they're not going to get any financial compensation for it, even though there's no amount of money that can compensate for the loss of a loved one. But still, now the family got another L. So now all their options are exhausted. All because pride and wanting to be right. So that's all I want to say on this. I hope you all were edified. Till the next time, we're going to say shalom.